Welcome to our core class. Core meaning our abdominals, our lower back, our glutes, and our hamstrings. We are going to demonstrate with Kim how to start with the breath. So we're going to do some diaphragmatic breathing or belly breathing where you're really working on warming up that lower abdominal muscle, the transverse abdominal muscle. So you're going to breathe in, allow the belly to expand, and as you breathe out, you're pulling those abdominals in, pushing the air out. Breathing in, allowing the belly to expand, and breathing out, pressing the belly button towards the spine. So as Kim turns to the side, you'll be able to see that as she breathes in, her belly goes out, and as she breathes out, her belly's pulling in. She's breathing in, belly expands, and breathing out, belly pulls in. You can do this sitting up or lying down. So Kim's going to lie down and show you how to do this in a lying position. She's breathing in and the belly rises, and as she breathes out, she's pressing her belly button towards the spine. She's not moving anything other than her abdominals. Just letting the belly expand and then pulling those abdominal muscles tight towards her spine. Which takes us to our next exercise, which is the pelvic tilt. So, everyone lying on your back, your knees should be bent, knees and feet are in line with your hips. And you want to feel the small portion of your back, like the lower portion of your back. There should be a little bit of a curve there. And everybody's a little bit different. Some people don't have much of a curve, but you should feel like you're balancing on the smaller part of your tailbone. As you breathe in, your belly's going to expand, and then when you breathe out, you're going to press your back into the mat. So you're flattening the curve. Inhale, release. Exhale, flatten the back. So you're still pressing the belly button towards the spine as you exhale. You're now moving the pelvis. So you're breathing in, rocking the hips forward, breathing out, rocking the hips back. Inhale and exhale, flattening the back as you exhale. Inhale, release. One more, exhale. Excellent. Now we're going to move into bridge. So on bridge, what I would like you to do is use the breath for movement. So you're going to exhale whenever you're moving. So Kim's going to demonstrate as she inhales, she's releasing that lower back, and then she exhales, she's pressing her back into the floor and then lifting her hips up. She's going to hold that position in the air as she breathes in, and as she exhales, she's going to lower one vertebrae at a time all the way back down to the floor. Inhale, release, and exhale, press the back into the floor, lift the hips up. Pressing the hips up, inhale, exhale, lower down. You can perform this 3 to 5 times. If your back gets tired, you can always take a break. And lowering down. Excellent. Our next exercise is the heel slides. So Kim is going to demonstrate this. The breathing is the same. You're going to breathe in, pull the knee towards your chest, and as you exhale, keeping the belly button pressed towards the spine, you're reaching that leg out. Now, if you feel any pinching or pulling in your lower back, you can do 2 different things. One, you can just slide the heel on the floor, or you can lift the leg up higher. Instead of close to the floor, you can raise that leg up closer to the ceiling where you do not feel any pinching or pulling in your lower back, but you're still working that lower abdominal muscle, pressing the belly button towards the spine. As you get stronger, you may lower that leg closer to the floor, again with the goal of not feeling any pinching or pulling in your lower back. And you would perform this exercise 5 to 10 times on each leg. The next exercise we're going to move to is called Bird Dog. Kim is going to move to all fours. Her hands are going to be directly underneath her shoulders. Her knees are hip width apart and right in line with her hips. She should feel very stable in this position. Her weight is evenly distributed in her hands and knees. Her ears are right over her shoulders. And she's going to breathe in before she moves, and we're going to start out just moving your arms and your legs separately. So breathing in, she's going to exhale, lift one arm. And as she exhales, again, she's pulling her tummy muscles in towards the spine, keeping the movement very isolated to just the arms right here. And the next move, she's going to move to her legs, really focusing on keeping the abdominals pulled in. And this is a great way to just start getting comfortable with this movement in this position. Trying to imagine you're balancing a glass of water on your back. So you don't want to spill that water. She's going to add arms and legs on this next move, and the modification is just reaching in front and behind. So her feet are still in contact with the floor, her fingertips are on the contact with the floor. We're really focusing on extending in opposite directions, still pulling those abdominal muscles in. And then if you feel very stable, you can move to the next progression, which would be to lift the arm and leg hip height, shoulder height. So a straight line from the fingertips to the toes, reaching in opposite direction, keeping those abdominals nice and tight. Good. And if you need to, you can release the lower back and just sit back on your heels after you've finished 5 to 10 repetitions. Feel a stretch in your lower back. If this is not comfortable, you could also try on all fours, just rounding your back like a cat to release the tension in the lower back and release to a flat back. Okay, so the next exercise we're going to do is called plank. So Kim is going to move to her stomach, lying on her stomach, propping herself up on her elbows. Now, it's really important in this position that you don't let your shoulders sink into your, sink your shoulders down. As you can see, she is lifting her shoulders up. She's pulling out of her shoulder joint. She's actively engaging her legs, squeezing her inner thighs together. So for this exercise, we're working on the endurance of your abdominals. She's going to breathe in and exhale into position. Now the first position is a modified plank. As you can see, she's not lifting up onto her toes, but she's lifting her body up. And there's a straight line from her shoulders to her hips. And as we're holding this position, she's continuing to breathe, but she's not relaxing her abdominals. She's pulling those muscles in, thinking about tightening those abdominals with each breath, exhaling and tightening, and then releasing. The idea with this would be that you would hold this for a count of, say, 5. And if that is easy, then you would hold it for longer. The important thing to remember is you should not feel any pinching or pulling in your lower back. So let's try this. Getting into your position, breathe in, and as you exhale, pull up into that position. Now let's hold it for a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Now if that felt easy, you could hold it for longer. The goal would be to be able to hold that position for 30 seconds to a minute without feeling any pinching or pulling in your lower back. Let's try it again, and we can try for a 10-second count hold. Breathe in, exhale into position, and 10, 9, keep tightening, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Now if you felt that towards the end it was really difficult to hold that position, it's okay to take a break. Keep working at it, and you should be able to hold that without having any problems with your lower back. Again, we don't want you to have any pinching or pulling. Okay, so let's try it again, and Kim is going to demonstrate a full plank. What that means is that there's going to be a straight line from her ankles, her knees, her hips, her shoulders, her ears. And you can see she's up on her toes. Her back is straight. Her back is not swaying towards the center. Her belly's not reaching the mat, but it's lifting up. Okay, so let's practice plank again. We're going to hold for a count of 10 again. You decide what position is best for you. Breathe in, exhale, lift up, and 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Continue to tighten those abdominals. 2, and 1. Release. Excellent job. And that concludes our core class today.